everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Lucid's Tourney. This is game 7, turn 5. We're playing Helheim. Let's jump in. Okay, so not a lot except for 3 battles, so let's just go through them. In Lombaria, we have... Alright, so this is our smallest force, 4 Hellherdings and our Prophet Lugram, versus what was displayed as just a small group of militia and slingers. But lo and behold, we've got 2 wizards here as well. Okay, that is a bit of an issue. So let's watch this. We got some raised skeletons. We've got a lesser earth elemental. Okay. Robrims. Oh, then we've got a actual earth elemental and a lesser water elemental. Oof. Okay, so our Hellherdings hit. They are chopping the militia to bits, doing a decent job. We've got Watery Death popping out as well. So the Hellherdings have no issue with the militia. The slingers are kind of popping the Hellherding. Oh, no, they're not. Actually, we haven't popped any glamours, so that's good. But now the Earth Elemental comes in, and this thing has trample. So it's kind of going to start pushing the Hellherdings around. And as soon as it does, right, pushes this Hellherding, and now he's pretty fucked up, which is unfortunate. Goodness gracious, this freaking Earth Elemental is fucking us up. And then, so we had a chance. We had a chance here. There was legitimately an opportunity. And that opportunity was for the Hellherdings to pop this Earth Elemental and then kill the Water Elemental. But unfortunately, in the weird push that happened there, in the Earth Elemental kind of like trampling around and moving the Hellherdings around, this Hellherding got kind of like displaced and then decided to run and attack the Slingers. So now we're kind of in this scenario where our forces are split. We've got 2 Hellherdings, one dead, 2 Hellherdings in the middle with the Elementals. Our Prophet Lugram over here with this other little Earth Elemental, and then this Hellherding on its own. And because of that, this thing just starts healing, right? And we can't get enough damage onto it. We do pop the one in the back, but now our 2 Hellherdings in the center are dead. This one is killing slingers, but we don't quite make it. We get routed, and boom, Hellherding and Lugram off the battlefield. Unfortunate. And to make matters worse, 0 of Lugram's units dispersed after the battlefield and made it on their own, and 1 of those, basically everything died. Unfortunate. We got really close there. Honestly, there was a moment where that Earth Elemental had very, very low HP. And if we had popped it, if the 3 Hellherdings had popped it and then attacked the Water Elemental, they probably could have killed it and then moved into the Slingers without issue. But because of the placement and because of that kind of like odd leash where the 1 Hellherding went for the Slingers, it kind of cost us the scenario. If we had 5 Hellherdings in that, we probably would have come out. In fact, actually, this is worth noting, had we sent that Vanhurst along with it to kind of act as the 5th Hellherding, we probably would have won. That is, early game scenarios like this can cost you a lot, or they can maybe not cost is probably not a great word, but they can shape the face of the game itself. So have to remember that. Then we have 2 more battles, one in Dendra Nigra. This is our first hearse, a bunch of Huskarls, and the 2 Surf Warriors that we still have, versus just a bunch of Woodsmen. So Woodsman blowpipes. We've got a Wood Hinge Druid back here. So not much of an issue. Let's go watch this. Do double time. So the Huskarls come forward to match with the blowpipes. Our hearse comes in and starts cutting people down. Very nice. And we're able to route the blowpipes very easily. Woodsmen are notoriously weak, right? It's just sometimes they are scary because they'll have like blood mages with them, or they'll have like vine creatures with them, or something like that. So, but we win that pretty handily, only losing 1 Huskarl. Very nice. And then we have a battle in Sinafe. And this is a small contingent versus a pretty large amount of Deer Tribe, actually. So this is about 60 Deer Tribe. Has a Barbarian Chief in there. Has a Deer Tribe Shaman in here. Can be dangerous. Deer Tribe Shaman can do things like Vine Arrows. So that can be dangerous with Cavalry. I'm going to go ahead and double time. We get our blessings all done. Air shield goes up. And we actually get someone put to sleep. And then the Hell Herdings begin to chop up the Deer Tribe without too much issue. Now, and then someone did get Vine arrowed, actually. That's kind of funny. There we go. Alright, so we are able to rout the Deer Tribe without, it seems like, too many losses. No losses, though I do believe we took some wounds in that. Okay, so what do we have going on? Alright, well, we have more information, is what we have. We have a lot more information this turn. Okay, so let's talk about the board setting first, the board state, and then we'll actually talk about that informs the moves that we are making this turn. Okay? So we'll talk about the loss here in Lumbaria. So this was very close. This would be easy for us to come back and kind of like try to catch back up on. However, we found out that there were 2 failed expansions into Lumbaria last turn, actually. Apparently, number 13 is Femoria, and Femoria moved into Lumbaria last turn and was beaten back as well by the Wizards. So that ended up prompting a conversation between Femoria and I. And in order to avoid not outright hostilities, right? Because we didn't establish that, or I don't feel like it was going to be that established. But in order to try to avoid immediate hostilities, basically we decided on a simple resolution. Femoria gets 4, but I get 20, basically. And that's nice because that means that we don't have to worry about this scenario right here for now. So we can focus on other directions. It's not nice because we lost an expansion party to that, and I kind of wanted 4. But it is what it is, right? We talked about this last turn, that I kind of, when making this many aggressive expansions, I expect to lose some of them here or there, right? We made 3 last turn. I expected to lose at least one of them, and we did. All right, so this is the state of this scenario. Also, we have done a nap 18 with Femoria, I guess is the best way to describe it. I don't like doing nap 3s or things like that in the early game. And honestly, I'm not super happy with the 18. I suggested 15 because that's what I kind of like to do. 15 for me is enough time to, you get 12, or you get 12 turns. That's kind of the expansion, year is your first 12 turns, and then you know, 3 turns later you mobilize and you target someone for an early war. So I prefer to sit at like 15, doing a nap basically like until turn 15. But we have done a nap until turn 18. Sounds like a plan. Okay. Again, like, that's not my favorite choice, and I probably should have stuck to my guns and just been like, either we do a 15 or we don't do one at all. But I don't know. It didn't matter too much to me, so I just kind of like, whatever. Okay, so we know Sarmatia is up here, right? But we also know that Sarmatia still has not expanded towards 3 of its current provinces. That's interesting. And I still kind of want to do this. I kind of just want to go up here. I think... Oof. Big oof. I think we're going to stick with what we're doing. Okay, so we've still got Sarmatia up here. They have not expanded quickly, or if they have, they are expanding in this direction. We have discovered our southern neighbor is Marverni. They have expanded at least twice. We are going to hop their capital and go down to 99 and hopefully see if they have expanded anywhere to the south. And hopefully, here's the other hopefully, see if Sarmatia has expanded northward. If Sarmatia is expanding very, very slowly, then it's a possibility that they could be a easy target. Okay. We do not know who is in 19 yet, but they also have not expanded westward. So this gives us kind of the setup that we have currently. What we are aiming for is we are going to try to take Pergami, right? This will give us Kronberg and Pergami. Very good. I'm happy with that. The provinces that we are getting so far are, generally speaking, decent provinces, especially in the start of the game, right? These are provinces that will grow fairly well. So we're happy about that. We are going to try to take, again, 3 provinces this turn. This is, again, kind of ballsy. I do not anticipate bumps on any of these, so I'm not really worried about bumps, but I am worried about whether or not we are actually capable of taking them. So let's talk about the Dead Forest attack. This is a Amazon Jade Maidens province, which is really cool. This is really cool, right? Because if we get these, if we get the Amazons and if we get them, what we're likely to be able to get here is the Water 1, Nature 1 mage. We do not have access to water or nature, right? But okay, so granted, like, we already have, I guess we already have access to nature via Wolf Tribe. Is that Wolf Tribe? It's Deer Tribe. Sorry, Deer Tribe, and via Woodhedge Druids. But it's simpler if we just have it on a single mage, right? So these will give us access to nature and water, so that will be exciting. Also, they typically have sacreds here, the equivalent of the Oirapadas, right? And those are actually good sacreds, and us having such a strong bless, right? Hellherdings we can only get in our capital in Helheim, so having another place potentially be an option for sacreds is good. So we're gonna try to take that. The problem being, though, is it's very possible that we do not succeed in this expansion. This is probably the expansion I am most concerned about. I think we will probably fail. But if we succeed, that's going to be really good. If we fail, we can probably pick it up next turn with Hearst 3. Right? So, Hearst 3 is jumping into Pergami. This is heavy infantries and archers. Unless this is also a secret wizard hold, then we will probably do just fine. However, we did pick up 2 wounds. We picked up Battle Fright, which is a problem, and we picked up a Never Healing Wound, which is less of a problem. Okay? So the Battle Fright is the potential to rout earlier on in a fight, and if that happens, it's the option for, you know, more HP gone, chain routes, etc., etc. So hopefully that will not be the case, but we shall see. So we're moving into Pergami with Hearse 3, and then Hearse 4 is going to be jumping into Titan's Breath Peaks. This is, and he's taking 5 Hell Herdings and a Mounted Herdman. So, decent little attack squad. This is dicey, right? Light cavalries, militia, and heavy cavalries. The militia and the light cavalries should not matter that much. Hopefully, the majority of what is here is going to be light cavalry and militia. If it is 4 or 5 heavy cav, we should probably be okay. If it is more than that, it could get ugly. We've seen that before, right? We saw, for example, I think it was in Ormond, where we had like 8 or 9, maybe more actually, heavy cav. We can beat them, but they bloody the shit out of us, right? So hopefully that will not be the case. And why? So why are we going Titan's Breath Peaks, right? I kind of really want to go for Brightgate, but here's the thing, right? We know that Sarmatia has not expanded in this direction. It is possible that they expand here into Ard next turn. Then we might lose our opportunity to come up here. The problem is even if we jump, and I really kind of do want to jump and take some of these, the problem is that we're not going to benefit from these provinces until we make a land connection. And that is an issue, because it's going to be a sec before we get into, probably going to be another 2 or 3 turns before we get through Tiny Willow or Rame. Probably not that long. We could do Rame next turn. We're going to have to converge to take something like Rame. Okay? Whereas Titan's Breath Peak is, it's a large province, right? It's a potential province that we can take now without issue. It threatens Marverni, right? But is still 3 away from Marverni, whereas it's only 2 away from us, right? So it's still kind of like our easy claim. And it's also a kind of like position of power over here, right? We've got these 2 plains that I think are going to be good for us. I think this is going to be a very large province and probably going to be good for us. This kind of puts an impetus for us to claim this throne over here. So we're kind of just trying to follow the pathway of what we have. I considered attacking Lyratos. I considered hitting Lyratos with Hearse 3. I considered jumping to Brightgate with Hearse 4. We have a lot of options, and that's kind of the thing, right? As we do these, as we kind of like expand, we're getting more and more options for this rather aggressive expansion set. It's just a matter of what I think is gonna give us the most dividend at this point, right? I even considered, honestly, saying bullshit and jumping and taking Lombaria anyways, but in fact we can't. Right? We can't make it to Lombaria in a single turn, so we're just going to jump to Titan's Breath instead. And that's the turn, truth be told. So I think rather than yak on about random bits and bobs, that's probably going to be it for the turn. We've got 7 provinces right now on turn 5, which is pretty good. If we are successful on turn 6, we will have 10 provinces. That's pretty great. I would love to be able to turn around then and take this expansion force and jump to Brightgate. I think if we take this and we get 10, right? These 10 provinces, we take 11 here. I think if we are able to do something like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That is going to set us up very, very nicely, right? If we have a good claim here on 134, that would be 18 provinces. And at 18 provinces, I'm pretty happy, right? And we can hit that. It's just a matter of if we get lucky on some of the fights versus if we get unlucky on some of the fights. Our income, though, is going up pretty swiftly, pretty well, to the point of fact that we are actually recruiting a commander here in Kronberg in order to potentially either start a fort up in Kronberg or start a fort up in Titan's Breath Peaks, or something like that, right? I think I am concerned that with a name like Dead Forest, that this is actually going to have like death sites on it or something like that, which is going to make it really unfortunate because I would love to I'd love to fort and recruit those sacreds, but we'll just have to see. All right, anyways, that is going to be the turn. Thank you for watching. Next time. Bye, everybody.